Hello and welcome to Necromundown. Today we're doing the Rules Gang, aka Spyres. That's S-P-Y-R-E-S. The other gang that came in the Hive Secundus box. Also, I missed an R in there. S-P-Y-R-E-S.
Yes.
Spyres, not Spryers, not Spyros.
But there is
Writing it
a
down.
Spyre,
Yes.
which is the worst.
Yes.
Which is why I'm confused.
Yes,
a
this is
lot.
also not spelled as normally as Spyre is
Yeah.
in Necromunda, which is the normal way with an I.
Right.
Anyway, this might be the gang with the most rules we've had so far.
Yes.
So,
So it has more pages of rules, not including gangers, than they have gangers.
yes, it's also arranged in the worst way possible.
Yes.
Because Games Workshop continues to do this thing where instead of putting the stats by the things, they put them in the back of the book.
Yep.
Except for this case, they also put all of the upgrades that we're going to talk about in the back of the book.
Even though they're only for Spyres.
Right. I guess there's like, I guess what they're going for with that is like that's the reference section.
Yeah.
The problem is, but all the stats are in the front.
Yeah. So it keeps flipping back and forth.
Fix your books, GW. No one else works like this anymore. They fixed this for 40k in Age of Sigmar.
Yeah.
They removed the old 40k, like, turn to the back of the book, see what the last canon does. Anyway. So, brief lore. Spyres are all noble sons of House, or sons and daughters of House Helmar specifically. They're not just nobles. Basically, if you want to be anybody in House Helmar, if you want to ever be like Lord or Lady Hera, like somebody who rules something, it's contrary to what you might think of 40k, where you have a bunch of useless nobles who just like don't ever do anything or just rich folks.
Yeah.
You do actually have to earn your stripes, which means now you get to earn your stripes. You know, it's a bit like old medieval knights who didn't really fight each other; they just killed peasants. It's a bit like that.
Prove your worth in battle. Kill that guy that's unarmed.
By murdering a bunch of peasants. That's literally what they do.
Yeah.
They get these incredibly advanced archaeotech rigs. Like, nobody can really make them anymore.
Yeah.
I guess they can. They're not quite archaeotech. But incredibly advanced rigs, they have to be genetically modified to fit in them. Like, sometimes they have amputations. And then you go down and try and get a kill tally. Now, the Hive Secundus campaign is kind of based around one of these folks partnering up with some other, you know, commoners to get a higher kill count and to hunt like really big prey like the mouse drain gene stealers. But honestly, they can also just go down into the main Underhive and just mess with people, just commit little a genocide as a treat.
Just a little genocide.
You know, just randomly cut down any gangs or anything like that. Obviously, you don't want to mess with Lord Helmor still. So you don't want to go killing people who are sanctioned. You're not going to go cutting through enforcers. By the third enforcer prey thing, they'd probably like reel you back in.
It's like, oh,
But basically, you know, they're completely amoral psychopaths who are just roided up on these suits and these everything else, and they're so far above anybody, and they know it, and they're just here to kill folks. Normally, they don't like each other, because normally they're all competing for kills. But the Spyre gang is based around the idea of, well, I guess if we all teamed up, we could get even more kills. But even within that, there's some selfishness, and that is reflected in the mechanics. So I guess let's get into the mechanics. The house rules, aka how this gang plays differently than all the other gangs, and the answer is yes.
the answer is a lot.
The answer is all the ways.
Yeah.
Where do we even want to start? From the beginning, I guess.
From
The top.
Paragraph 1. A Spyre hunting gang ignores usual restrictions for needing gang fighter rule.
Yep,
Makes sense
there is no
because
gang fighter or gang hierarchy.
There's
thing
nothing
here.
less than a champion in this faction.
No.
Secondarily, any unspent credits after gang creation are discarded. You don't get to keep it.
No. You don't get to take it with you. They can never form an alliance.
Good riddance.
Period. I mean, we've talked about how we often don't use those, but a lot of folks do.
Yeah, it's an option.
They don't. Well, not for these guys.
It's not an option.
Hired guns will not sign on to work with Spyre hunting gangs unless the hired gun rules specifically say they will, which I think is like Lady Hera
Yeah, I think
might. So that means no previous hired guns, no hangers-on.
That's impressively bad.
Yep, unless their rules specifically state they will, which they don't.
And I mean, to be fair, a bunch of the hangers-on probably wouldn't work with them anyway. Like,
No.
not lore-wise, but like, just don't do
Generically.
anything.
Yeah, but like no ammo jacks,
Nope, no ammo jack.
no ammo jacks, no rogue docs. Not that you're going to need
I
it.
think I'm gonna do it.
So that's just the baseline rules. And then you get into their campaigns play, which is even more different.
Yep. First, we have Spyre Hunting Party Gang only gains credits during downtime.
So all those credit rewards?
Any credits gained that would be added to your stash are instead discarded. In addition, you can only recruit fighters through the terror level, which we will get to in a minute.
We'll get to.
During downtime, you can exchange weapons and war gear between your fighters.
Yep.
Augmentations are lost. Again, we'll get to those. You can purchase war gear from equipment options, so only what's listed on your sheet. Remove glitches.
Suit glitches are things that build up when you take damage.
Yeah, it's basically a replacement for like lasting injuries, but there's also lasting injuries, whatever. And lastly, you can hire one or more Caryatid Prime.
Yep, which are not as good as normal Caryatids, but
I think they're good.
They're good, but they're not quite as powerful, I think.
And again, unspent credits are discarded.
Yep. I'm just going to say, Spyre hunting gangs have no interest in selling captives to the guilders or claiming bounties. So all of those rules about claiming, selling captives to the gilder, anything about unsanctioned psychers,
getting extra credits,
none of that, because they don't get credits anyway.
Yeah.
So this also means they can't do that. However, that doesn't mean they don't take captives.
Yes.
Because they like it for bait.
Yep. So it's they can't trade, sell, or dispose of any captives.
Now, keep in mind, that says can't trade.
Yes.
So if a Spyre opponent captures one of your guys, they can't trade it back to you. Rules.
They couldn't trade it back if they wanted to.
Right. So you have to do a rescue mission.
Yep.
Which does get a little weird.
Yeah.
Territories.
No.
Well, one.
Well, one. So you can have territory just to keep it away from other people.
Right.
But you don't get any boons from any of them.
Nope. You only get your base camp, which is, in addition to any other territory, a Spyre hunting party always has a Spyre base camp, which you can never lose. What that does is, during the wrap of each battle the Spyre hunting party gang takes part in, one of your Spyre hunters may perform post-battle actions even if they are in convalescence. Now, it doesn't say recovery.
Right.
But if you're in convalescence, which normally stops you from doing that, this lets you do that, which you're probably going to need because you have so few guys.
That is true, but they also can't do a lot of post-battle actions.
That's also true.
So it's less useful, but also more needed. I don't know.
In addition, whenever a Spyre hunting party wins a battle as part of a campaign, you perform a terror purge during the wrap-up step, which is everyone gets 2 XP.
So in addition to your normal killy stuff, serious injuries, all that stuff,
You get 2 extra experience
everybody
points.
gets 2.
Speaking of terror. The terror. Spyre hunting party gang moves through the Underhive. Word of their presence indeed spreads until all know there is a predator in their midst.
This is kind of like their version of, Reputation. So your terror level starts at 1, and as you do things throughout the campaign, you get terror level, and then you get bonuses depending on your terror level.
Yes.
So there are 3 different options. There is Censure, which is if you take out 4 enemy fighters or vehicles, then you get 1 terror level.
So it's 4 enemy fighters or vehicles taken out of action or wrecked during the course of the battle as a direct result of an action taken by a Spyre. So bleed-outs don't count.
Bleed-outs don't count. Fire doesn't count. Push someone off a building.
So just to be clear, you always increase the terror level during the post-battle sequence.
Yes.
There's no limit to the number of times Cull leadership can be claimed during each battle sequence, but Censure and Lightning Raid can only be claimed once. Yeah. So if you're playing against Cawdor and you kill 14 of them, you don't get to double stack.
Right.
So yeah, Censure is kill at least 4 enemies, basically. Directly kill.
Lightning Raid, which is the only other one you can only do once, is take out 1 or more enemy fighters or vehicles during the first round.
Right.
Which would be impressive, although
not always.
Not always.
Not always.
And the last one, which you can claim as much as you want, is you take out a leader or champion.
Yes.
Again, as a direct result.
Yes.
So you really have like a bead on the higher end, and the other ones are kind of if you can get the other ones.
This faction, more than any other, just is a reward for kill the opponent.
Yep.
Like this
which is very fluffy.
You're basically trying to play board wipe.
Yeah. It's very fluffy. They go in there, they kill as many people as they can because they think it's fun.
Yes. Now, it's worth noting that you don't have to win to increase your terror level.
That's true.
You can kill a bunch of people and then bail. And since you don't get any credits anyway...
It's basically how much you want to hold your opponents back.
Right.
That's so interesting.
Right. Benefits of terror level. The boons granted by a gang's terror level are listed, blah, blah, blah. Each boon can only be claimed once. So from level 1 to 4, no boon. At 5 to 9, a gang may immediately equip a Carroted Prime for free. From 10 to 14, the gang may immediately hire a new Spyre with a total cost, including equipment, of 300 credits or less for free. It's actually not that much.
It's not.
Which we'll get to.
Yeah, we'll see the credits of these guys later.
For 15 to 9, one additional Spyre may perform post-battle actions while in convalescence during every post-battle sequence. That just gets unlocked. So you can't like go down and then go back up and unlock these again.
Yeah, I actually don't think there's a way to go down.
Not to my knowledge. And then at 20 plus, you can get another Spyre for a total cost, including equipment, of 400 credits or less.
So basically what everything up until this point says is you have a starting gang, and the maximum people that you can add past that is 2.
Yes.
That's crazy.
You can't ever recruit more.
Yeah. You can't recruit more. You can buy extra equipment at downtime.
Yes. Because, yeah, you cannot... You can't recruit during downtime like normal.
Nope.
You can only do those things we talked about, which is, basically refresh your guys. But the only way to get more folks is to do these things to get more terror. That's basically what this is this is basically your recruitment.
Yeah. The terror levels recruitment.
Yes. So that's their campaign mechanics. So now we get onto the actual Spyres themselves. And there's even more rules.
There's another 2 pages of rules before
to be fair, one of them is a lasting injury table.
I know. But still.
So the big one, and this is the one that we've talked about a lot, or rather that has been talked about a lot, is they get 2 ready markers, right?
Yep.
During the ready gang step of the priority phase, all Spyres gain 1 extra ready marker. If an effect would prevent them from gaining a ready marker, they gain 1 fewer ready marker. So if you manage to photon flash grenade somebody, they get 1 less. Woohoo! Each time a Spyre activates, you remove only 1 ready marker. This means they will be able to activate twice each round. Any effect that removes ready markers only removes 1 ready marker. So basically everybody on your gang has 2 activations.
Yep. And that's the trade-off for being so elite.
Yes, because as we see from the credits, you will be elite as heck.
Like, you're going to be lucky to fit 5 guys in your opening gang.
And so that, well, on the one hand, that means you can still have like 10 activations.
Yeah.
On the other hand, if you lose any guys, if anyone goes down, it's twice as valuable.
Yep. It's like playing Sons of Bahamut or Knights in 40k and Sigmar. Is like, you're strong, but you lose a guy and you feel
I will say, because of the way Necromunda works, these guys are not quite as durable as you might fear.
They are not.
These are kind of glass cannony. I mean, it's tempered glass. It's bulletproof glass.
It's good glass. Don't get me wrong, guys.
And it's also a really big cannon.
One of the things that makes them tempered glass is that when they're hit by a ranged attack, they are not prone and pinned unless they are also damaged by the attack.
So you either lose a wound or a flesh wound.
Yep.
Otherwise, you just have permanent nerves of steel.
Yeah. You don't have to roll for it.
You don't have to roll for it, yeah.
They don't suffer side effects from chems and never become addicted to them. So I guess that's only if your opponent hits you with a chem.
Friend zone.
Yeah, but you can't buy it for yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, and lastly, in the Master of the Hunt rule, which all of them have, is you can never be captured for any reason, and if they are captured, they instead suffer superficial damage, which is basically convalescence.
Not lastly for Masters of the Hunt, there's 2 more. They never need to check if they become broken as a result of a friendly model being taken out of action because they don't care about their friends.
So I read this and I have an issue with this because you have to take a break test if a friendly model goes out of action or is seriously injured. And it doesn't say seriously injured. It just says out of action. So I think that's a mistake.
I think that's a mistake. You probably want to play it, but it's just they don't care. Because both like lore-wise and rules-wise, these guys do not care.
Yeah.
Like, they're not friends.
Again, they're all technically competing with each other.
Yes. And then finally, they take battle checks on a D3 instead of a D6.
Again, you're very elite, so like losing 1 guy hurts, but you don't want it to be like, well, now I need to roll a 1 or I fought.
Yeah, nope. That's not going to happen.
Okay, that is nice.
So, here's the meat of the kill count. Every hunting rig, so their suit, records everything that happens to the Spyre. No privacy.
Yeah.
Verifying their kills and unlocking functions of their hunting rig and its weaponry as their kill count ticks up. Like, all of these guys are in a video game.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man movies, where it's like
I haven't seen them. I know.
So basically, he has like X powers unlocked, and then he hacks the system to get more powers. But he's supposed to, like, as he grows, gain more powers that his suit has.
It's like Saints Row 4.
Sure. But with less beep.
Yeah. That beep could stand for anything.
Yes, it could.
And no Keith Davids.
Unfortunately.
So in addition to gaining XP, every time you take an enemy fighter out of action, you have to increase their kill count by 1. So you do also have to keep a tally mark, which is actually fun and flavorful. And then you can always perform the suit evolution post-battle.
See, that's the post-battle action that everybody wants.
Right, which means it's kind of handy to be able to do that in convalescence. So suit evolution is, if a Spyre's kill count is at least 4, reduce their kill count by 4 and either clear all their rig glitches, or increase the power to their hunting rig as follows. So you can either heal or buff. If it's still at least 4, aka you managed to get 8 kills in one battle with one guy, you can do it again. So it's it's not reset to 0. You reset by 4.
You reduce by 4.
So subtract 4. To increase the power on the hunting rig, roll a d6 on the power boost table, apply the result to the Spyre, and then increase the credit cost by the amount shown. So as they buff up, now the credit cost doesn't really matter to you, but it does matter to your opponents.
Yeah, it matters for like gang comparisons.
So on the table we have Combat Neuroware, +1 to WS or BS, aka +1 weapon skill or ballistic skill, to a minimum of 2+.
Increase your credits by 20. Next is Heighten Reactions, which increases your initiative by 1 to a maximum of 2+.
Okay, the one you don't want. Improved motive power, increased movement by 1 to a maximum of 8. That one's good.
Thickened Armor on a 4, which increases your armor by 1, which is impressive because it is, again, one of the only ways to increase their armor. To a maximum of 2, as usual.
And then what's weird is both a 5 and a 6 and a d6, so there's only actually 5 options here. So this is the one you're going to statistically get more. The hunting rig improves the power supply to one of its systems and brings additional function online. Pick one weapon or piece of war gear carried by the Spyre and increases augmentation level by 1. If the new augmentation would increase a characteristic beyond its maximum, increase the augmentation level by an additional 1.
So basically, if you can't take advantage of the augmentation level, you just get another one.
Yes, which is very strange.
I mean, it's better than going like, I guess I'll increase my ballistic skill to a 1. Wait, I can't.
And if a roll on that table would increase a characteristic by beyond its maximum, you just treat the result as a 5 or a 6. So it never becomes redundant.
There's no chance of you rolling on this table and getting something bad.
We will talk about the augmentations when we talk about the gear and the suits.
Because, they all intermix.
So basically, this is how you get those. You level up. But you level up your kills.
So interestingly, you also record experience.
Yes.
So you're spending experience like normal, and then also getting these. So you level up quick.
Yes. All right. So, do you want to talk about glitches at the end?
We don't have to cover this whole thing. We can just say what glitches are.
All right. So glitches. When a Spyre is taken out of action, instead of rolling on the lasting injury table, you roll on this. Basically, this is a replacement for the lasting injury table. If during the purchase advancement step of the post-battle sequence, a Spyre's glitch count is higher than their toughness characteristic, the hunting rig shuts down, delete him and all his equipment. AKA, you suck, go home.
You sucked too many times.
You suck, go home. I mean, it says it shuts down, so I'm not assuming, like, does it, like, just locked there? Or is it, like, no power, so you have to, like, clonk your way up to an elevator and go back up the Underhive and...
I like that one better.
I'm assuming if that happens, you just don't come home.
Yeah.
Like, I'm assuming it's kind of a don't come home. Like, if you did walk back, they'd go, thanks.
But I killed 48... I almost said children.
I mean, yeah, that's exactly what he would say.
We're on Necromunda.
Yeah. I killed 48 juvies. So? do you just... I just hate juvies. I hate their weapon skill. Honestly, it's mostly the same. Most of these things are decreasing their stats and increasing their glitch count.
They're basically like almost a straight-up replacement for... You just get the thing you would normally get and glitch.
Yeah, and just like the normal lasting injury table, these get worse as you get higher, with a 66 being a critical overload, aka you just die.
You explode.
Sometimes even your suit can't save you. So don't worry, gangers. Rolling the dreaded 66 is exactly the same for these weirdos as it is for everyone else. 65 is you have to roll D3 times on this table.
I just know I'm going to play these guys and game 1 get a 66.
You just know it. And it's going to be when you get knocked down and a juvie steps on your head.
Yeah.
To be fair, you do have to go out of action for this to happen.
You do.
Which is, for these guys, a little more difficult.
A little hard.
All right. Onward. So that's all the rules.
No, it's not. That's all the non-equipment rules?
Yeah, let's now get to the models.
Yeah.
AKA your gangers. Except if you guys, if you called one of these a ganger, they would probably stab you.
Yeah.
So let's start with the first one that doesn't have a model.
Yes, it's very funny. No, they're waiting for Forge World to make this one.
I mean,
They're probably doing that.
that's what I'm afraid of, man. Like, I don't get this.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's the Spyre Huntmaster. All of these are basically different suits. And if you're like, but Josh, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 suits, but there were only 4 in that box. Correct.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Sorry, 3 in that box and 1 in the Underhive box. Correct, that's the problem. The Huntmaster is wearing a Sovereign hunting rig, which does not currently, to my knowledge, unless I'm just super messing this up, doesn't currently have a model.
I don't believe so.
And yeah, there's probably one really old one made of metal you could put in stock and kill somebody with. I'm not counting that because I can't buy it right now.
And it would be half the height of all of the other new ones that just came out.
3/4.
3/4, okay.
So your Huntmaster. This is your leader, aka you have to have one of these. He can't retire.
If he dies, you replace him.
Yep.
Like normal.
His main thing is he gets to pick one weapon or piece of war gear that he starts, and he gets to increase its augmentation level by 1 off the bat. When skills, their primary skill sets are combat and leadership and shooting. So, the good ones.
Yeah, the good ones.
Oh, you like shooting and combat? Take them both. His actual stats, he's 180 credits, which is a lot.
There's one later that's more.
But I didn't say it was the most. For 180 credits, you get 6 up movement, base 2 up weapon skill, base 3 up ballistic skill. So I guess this is your melee model. Do whatever you want.
Eat your heart out, Corpse Grinder Cults.
However, he's only got strength and toughness 3.
Yep.
So this is what we're getting at when I say that like these guys are not as tough as they might seem.
Yeah, you see the big hulky guy on the board, and he's 2 toughness less than an aimbot.
Right. 3 wounds though.
3 wounds, good.
3 initiative, 3 attacks, 7 up leadership, meaning his leadership skills are not going to be great because these guys aren't leaders. Like
Yeah.
I like that. They're not
Yeah,
actually.
that's a good point.
They're not actually leaders. That's not his point. Like this is the toughest guy, but he's not a great leader.
Looking at the next few, they also have leadership 7, so
Yeah.
it's like they're all.
Yeah. He does, however, have cool 5, willpower 6, and intelligence 6. So very good mental stats across the board. We'll talk about his gear at the end. So you get a Sovereign hunting rig, which is included in your cost. You may select any of the options from the Huntmaster war gear options, and you can only get additional things during downtime.
Yeah.
There's no trading post for these guys.
Basically, what happens is there are 4 different other suits, your
Yes.
champion suits. This guy can have stuff from the other suits.
Yes.
Like he can have stuff that has those suits listed. So,
Yes.
He's the more customizable one.
Yeah. So basically, yeah. And then he also can have a curated prime. I like that he can have web solvent.
Yeah.
Because that would be one of the best ways to get rid of one of these idiots.
Yep. I think the war gear equipment is the same across all of them.
Yes, it is. It's
I would buy a bio booster.
Yeah, bio booster. I mean, photo goggles are good.
Goggles are good.
It's not exactly the same. This guy can carry a chem synth, and I don't believe anybody can. This can.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no, this one. Yeah, you're right.
No, the Malkadon can also carry a chem synth.
Oh, so they're not exactly the same.
No, they're also. So the Sovereign hunting rig. So starts out 5 up armor, 6 up field armor. So your leader starts out with toughness 3, 3 wounds, and a 5 up armor save. Again, I'm going to keep saying it. Not that tough. 3 wounds though. Tier 1 increases that armor save to 5 up. Tier 2 increases that armor.
The field armor saved to 5.
Field armor save to 5 up. Sorry. And the tier 2 increases the wearer's strength by 1, which does reinforce the idea of them being a
More melee
focused.
Yeah.
And there's no tier 3.
Yeah, I think all of the hunting rigs only have 2 tiers, and the
Yes.
weapons have 3.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
So there you go. All right. All right. Next one, the Oris, aka the one that comes in the box, the box set.
You get 2 in that box, by the way. There are 350 credits each base.
Yep.
Huh. They are movement 5, weapon skill 3, ballistic skill 3, strength 3, toughness 4,
Yep.
slightly better toughness. Also 3 wounds, 3 up initiative, 2 attacks, leadership 7, cool 5, willpower 6, intelligence 6.
They all have the same mental stats, which is leadership 7, cool 5, willpower 6,
Oh, yeah, you're right.
intelligence 6. They all have the same mental stats. That includes the Curated.
No, the character doesn't.
Oh no, the Curated have 7 willpower, 8 intelligence. Sorry.
Yeah. His primary skills include brawn in combat and still shooting.
Yep, because he's got 3s and 3s.
Yeah,
So
so-
like in theory, he's your punchy guy, but between his weapon options, which are the power fists or 2 different things, which we'll talk about here in a second, you can very much build this as a tougher shooty guy.
Yeah.
You don't have to go punchy with him. which is kind of a theme with these folks.
True.
Now,
He starts with his hunting rig. All of them have their rig.
his is the Oris hunting rig.
Oris hunting rig. Power talons and 2 bolt launchers, which are basically bolt rifles.
Yep.
It's really hard to talk about these suits without like having to go talk about all their equipment and then
Which
come
is
back
what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Worth noting just for the skills, combat is good, more defensive. Brawn is better than it used to be, but I don't think it compares to combat.
It does not compare to combat or shooting. Depending on what
shooting
you're
is, it's really hard not to take shooting. So, his weapons, his close combat weapons, what he's got, the Oris Power Talons. So the Oris Power Talons are strength +1, so strength 4, 3 AP, 2 damage, power, which means on a 6, double damage, and
no armor.
no armor. Sorry, not double damage. Or is it double damage too?
It is double damage.
Double damage and no armor, and can only be parried by other power weapons. So yeah, and paired, by the way. So this guy only has 2 attacks, but you are starting out with a paired weapon.
Yeah.
This is one that the Malkadon cannot take. The Spyre Huntmaster. This is that one he can't take.
His weapons are too cool.
So that's where you're starting from.
Yeah.
You can replace your power talons with power fists, which are strength +2. So you go up to 5 strength, which does mean you wound strength or toughness 4 guys on a 3. So that's a nice break point. But it drops the AP from 3 to 1.
Yeah. Oh no, the power talons are only 1 damage.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mixed those two up. They
got mixed up.
Sorry. The power talons are only 1 and do not have power, despite being called.
Despite being power talons, we ignore that.
The power fists get 2 damage and have power.
Yeah.
So you're trading 2 AP for an additional strength and additional damage and power.
And power and 50 credits.
Yes, and 50 credits. For 50 credits, I don't think I like that.
It's fine.
It's got paired anyway.
Yeah.
And the power thing is nice, but 3 AP is real nice.
3 AP is real good.
Yeah.
AP, it's weird because AP 1 is better in the early game.
Yes.
But this is somehow more expensive.
Right. Well, it's because it's 2 damage and strength +2.
Yeah, that's true.
Whether or not you go with this option depends on how many toughness 4 gangs are running around.
Yeah.
If you're fighting a bunch of Goliaths or Ogrins, spend the 50 credits. And also if you're going punchy.
Yeah.
Because his other 2 are, well, I guess let's talk about his bolt launchers. So the bolt launchers are pistols, which means they do have sidearm, so he can shoot in combat, which is good. Short 8-inch, long 20-inch, +1 at short range. Strength 4, AP 1, 1 damage with rapid fire 1 and sidearm. It's basically a bolt pistol.
Yeah.
With rapid fire.
Thinking about it, why would I ever want to shoot this in melee when I have paired melee weapons?
Great question. You didn't get to charge.
Sure, that's true. You only get the paired bonus on the charge.
It does have rapid fire.
It does have rapid fire. I don't know. It's
And
just
he
a
has
little.
2 of them.
He does have 2 of them. Oh, so you could shoot with both of them instead of your paired weapons.
Right, but 2 of them doesn't really help because he doesn't have a rule for firing 2 weapons.
Nope.
Yeah, anyway.
It's a little weird that that has sidearm, is all I'm saying.
So you can replace it with either 2 Volkite dischargers for free, which is also a pistol, super short range though. 5-inch, 10-inch, no accuracy bonus. Strength 5, no AP, but it's got deflagrate, and sidearm. And let's check 6 up. So what is deflagrate? Well, that is a new word. I'm pretty sure that's a new word in general. Not just
yeah, it's a new word to the English language.
Right. What that does is, after fully resolving a hit with this weapon against a fighter, if any damage was inflicted, the fighter suffers an additional automatic hit with the weapon's profile. This additional hit will not itself cause an additional hit. So Volkite weapons, if you're familiar with 40k lore, are basically like electrical discharge weapons. They're kind of archaeo-techy. They also never have any AP, and that's why I don't like it.
Yeah, no AP is kind of rough. Strength 5 on your gun, but only 10-inch range. Yeah, I'd rather have the bolt launchers.
It's free.
It is a free upgrade.
But I'd rather have the bolt launchers for when I couldn't get into melee.
Yeah.
Or you could go with 2 disintegration matrix. Matrices?
Matrices?
Matrices? Matrixipodes. 2 disintegration matrixipodes. 3-inch short range, 12-inch long range with a -1 at long range. This is Strength 5, AP 2, 2 damage with Scarce, Sever, and Unstable. I'm not taking Unstable on a flippin' 350 credit model. I don't care.
Oh, no. 410 because it's 60 points to upgrade.
I don't care, Travis. I know you said that you liked this friend of the show, Travis. Or maybe you did. I hope I'm not besmirching him. But I recall correctly, like, I don't know. I think he said it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Because I'm on the same page. Like, Sever's really good.
Sever's really good.
Sever's the thing that if you do damage, you just down them.
So we will get slightly into more details later, but the upgrade system, the augment system, you have the option to remove the scarce trait.
Oh, well.
Just in case you survive the reload.
Can I remove the unstable? Oh, well, I don't care. Yeah. We have seen disintegration guns before. They're on the House Helmwar special guards.
Yes.
That we still don't have models for. I want models for those.
Also, yes.
So anyway, this guy is your punchy because his guns are not great.
His guns are second.
I mean,
like afterthoughts.
20-inch range bolt pistols with rapid fire are not bad.
No,
but they're
no.
only damage 1, though.
Yeah.
I would not put a lot of effort in this guy. I would just put the Power Fist on him and send him to town.
Yeah, fair.
Make him a 400 credit monster. You could just keep him for 350 credits and keep him pretty cheap.
True.
And then upgrade him later during downtime. I think that's what I would do.
That's fair.
Is upgrade him during downtime.
Because you can give him his Power Fist later.
And those do get better with augmentations.
Yes.
Do we want to talk about those now or like at the end?
Well, they're very specific depending on the equipment, so I think we should talk about them now.
All right.
So the Oris Hunting Rig is a 4-up armor and a 6-up field armor save.
Okay, so 4 up, 6 up, not bad.
Yeah. And then your first augmentation increases the field armor to a 5, and then the second increases it to a 4.
So basically you get a better
You get
vulnerable.
a 4-up in.
Which is pretty good because...
It is very good.
And keep in mind, 4-up is not that... Again, he's toughness 4 with a 4-up save.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of wounds and a lot of ways to not get pinned. But there's nothing that's really saving him besides that.
Nope.
So these guys are not... There are other models in Necromunda that are more difficult to kill.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Than these guys. Just keep that in mind when you're playing with them or against them. You got to be careful not to get swarmed.
The Bolt Launcher, because it's the first alphabetically, increases your damage to 2.
Which
That's
is good.
Pretty good. The second one increases your AP to 2, which is also pretty
Very good.
And the last one replaces Rapid Fire 1 with Rapid Fire 2.
So now you're talking about a 20-inch weapon with Strength 4, AP 2, 2 damage, Rapid Fire 2. Scary.
And 2 of them that are sidearms.
Very scary.
Yes.
There's your answer for why you would want to keep those in combat,
Yes.
right? So keep that in mind because these guys start out not particularly great.
And then
No, they start out great.
Yeah, they start out great, and then they get...
They have stuff that keeps them up with everyone else as long as they're getting kills.
Yes. Because they're not getting kills, they're not getting stuff.
Right. Let's talk about the Power Fists next because
Okay.
I'm looking at it.
Sounds good.
At Tier 1 augmentation, you add the Pulverize trait, which, okay. Tier 2, increase the AP characteristic to 2.
Again, good.
And Tier 3 is increase the damage to 3. So now you've got Power Fists paired Strength 5, AP 2, damage 3. And remember, you're still getting XP, so you could increase your strength.
Yep.
Suddenly, is that worth 50 credits?
Yes.
Yes. Well, I guess let's talk about the Talons now.
Which are free.
Which are free.
Which they come with the guy. Augmentation 1 is they get Rending.
Yeah, so on 6 extra damage.
On 6 extra damage. Augmentation 2 is damage characteristic to 2.
Makes them better.
And Tier 3 is strength characteristic to strength plus 2.
So at the end of that,
puts them at...
You end up with Rending, so strength plus 2, so strength 5. Damage 2, AP 3, so still more AP, but only damage 2 as opposed to damage 3.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot more even.
Yeah, I agree with that.
With the Power Fist. I still like the Power Fist, but you are paying 50 extra credits.
Definitely.
On the flip side, what else are you doing with those credits?
Well, we have 4 of the guys.
Yes, that's the thing. Like basically at downtime, you have to kind of make a decision.
Yep, you have to prioritize who's getting their bonuses.
I'm looking at the Volkite Discharger. Want to talk about that one?
Sure.
Utilizing ancient Martian technology. Called it. So increase the damage characteristic to 2. Okay, so strength 5, AP 0, damage 2. Tier 2 is increasing that AP to 1. And then Tier 3 is increasing that long range to 12 inches. I still don't like it.
I love how like the whole thing with Volkite is they're like high strength, high damage,
low AP,
and then they're like AP 1.
Well, I mean,
there you go, buddy.
That's the only thing. Strength 5, AP 1, 2 damage.
It's pretty good.
If that sounds familiar, that's called a plasma gun.
Yes.
And plasma guns are good. Plasma guns have +2 to hit at short range and have a 12-inch short range. This has a long range of 12.
Yeah.
No. Again, with the bolt launchers being so good later, I would have just rather take those. Especially for the low price of free. I mean, this one's also free.
Yeah.
I like the
They're straight
versatility of the bolt launchers better.
Yep. And lastly for this guy, we have the Disintegration Matrix, which I already talked about. The Tier 1 removes Scarce. Tier 2 increases your AP to 3. And Tier 3 makes your damage 3.
I don't care. It's got unstable. Like, unstable on these guys especially is just so bad.
Like, if they'd have put this weapon on one of the cheaper options, and none of them are cheap.
Right.
But not 350 credits.
Right.
Plus 60 to upgrade to this
I
weapon.
like this guy as a bruiser.
Yeah.
With the bolt launcher option, not as a Disintegration Matrix, even though it is fun.
It is fun.
And keep in mind, you can't ever get an ammo jack to make the reroll.
Right. Do it at your own risk.
Right. So, all right. Next one. The Yelled. I think this one's my favorite. The Yelled Spyre Hunter. This is your champion. So for the low, low price of 220 credits, 130 less than the previous one,
Yeah.
you get 7-inch movement, 4 up weapon skill, don't get into combat, 2 up ballistic skill, hello Vansar, strength 3, toughness 3, only 2 wounds, initiative 3 up, only 2 attacks, same mental stats, 7, 5, 6, 6. You get the same rules. When you're recruited, you get the skills. Their skills are shooting and cunning and agility.
Again.
My bet, I think this is my favorite combination of some of the 3 best skill trees in the game.
Yep.
Because shooting's really good, cunning's really good. Would you like to put Overwatch on a Spyre?
Yeah, this thing?
Remember, you have 2 activations. Would you like to put Overwatch?
Oh, God. You remove one of them, boop, kill that guy.
Yeah. Would you like to put Infiltrate on your Yelled?
Infiltrate.
Would you like to make them hard to kill with agility? Yeah, there's some great things. So yeah, they get some really cool stuff. So the Yelled is the one that can fly, I believe.
Yes.
So 7-inch movement, by the way, is really good. You start out with a Yelled hunting rig, paired Yelled laser gauntlets, and Yelled wings, which is all included. Here's the thing: you only have one weapon option.
And it's free.
You can choose to replace the laser gauntlets with missile gauntlets. That's it. And it's completely free. So this has like the least choice of anybody. Maybe that's why I really like it.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't have to think.
All right. So the Yelled hunting rig gives you a 5-up armor save. No field armor save.
Nope.
However, if the wearer does not move during their activation, then until the start of their next activation, any ranged attacks targeting them suffer a -1 to hit.
That is very good.
Powerful. It's like the Cameline cloak.
Yep.
The tier 1 augmentation is you get a movement +1 to an 8.
Movement 8, sure.
And then at tier 2, range attacks targeting the wearer get a -1 even if you do move.
Yeah, so this is another thing that I think it's a mistake. It doesn't say the benefit from this counts even when you move. It's a -1 if you move and a -1 if you stand still. So those are not supposed to stack, I don't believe.
No.
Okay.
It says range attacks targeting the wearer suffer a -1 to hit modifier even if the wearer moved during their activation.
Yes. I just feel like because they don't reference each other, it could be misconstrued that they stack.
Basically, no, you're never getting a -2 to hit. You're just getting that -1 to hit even if you move. That's why it says even if.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I kind of like that. It's fun, but you are the squishiest.
Yes.
You only have 2 wounds and toughness 3. So, the actual weapons. You've got your paired laser gauntlets and wings, which are a melee weapon.
Are they...
AKA Pokemon will know this as a steel wing. And you can replace it with a laser gauntlet. So, the paired Yelled laser gauntlets. 10-inch short, 20-inch long with a +1 at short range. Not bad.
Yeah.
Strength 3, AP 1, 1 damage with plentiful and rapid fire 1. It's basically a las gun with AP 1. I mean, it's not bad.
It's not bad. And, well, it's, yeah.
And they are paired, but that doesn't do anything for you.
And it's rapid fire 1. Well, the rapid fire is the paired part.
Yeah.
So...
But the paired Yelled missile gauntlets, on the other hand, are 15-inch strength, 30-inch, or 15-inch strength, 15 strength, no, 15-inch range, 30-inch long range, no bonuses to hit, strength 5, no AP, 1 damage, and they have knockback and rapid fire 1. So in a vacuum, I'm taking the missile every time.
Yep.
I really don't like strength 3, AP 1.
Yeah, strength 3 is a little rough.
I'd much rather have strength 5 than just
Especially
strength 3.
for your like ranged option because you have a 2-up BS.
Yeah. And then the wings are just strength +1, AP 1.
Yep.
Now, let's look at the actual upgrades. Start with the wings. So, the Yelled wings, a Spyre equipped with Yelled wings ignores all terrain, may move freely between levels without restriction, and can never fall. They may not, however, ignore impassable terrain and may not end their obstacle, blah, 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 blah. So basically, fly.
Yep.
It's what you think it is.
Interestingly, they can't ignore impassable terrain, so you can't, like... I think that's just for, like, the Underhive.
Yeah, it's for walls.
Yeah.
You can't... It's not a
You can't fly through a wall.
No. Haha! So at tier 1, you get parry. Keeps you alive.
Very good.
At tier 2, you get damage 2, which is fine.
Yeah. You've got nothing else to spend it on.
Tier 3, you get knockback. This is going to be your last one.
Yeah.
I could see maybe getting parry if you're worried about melee, because these things keep you alive. But you have weapon skill 4. This is not your melee model.
No, it's not gonna kill them. It'll keep you alive.
Yeah.
The yelled laser gauntlets and paired. The first augmentation increases your AP to 2, which is good.
Yep. Now you're at like hotshot lasgun territory.
The second augmentation increases the range to 24.
Long range, 24.
Yep, long range to 24. So it's still 10, 24.
Yes. So you'll still only get 10-inch short range for your +1 to hit, but you have 2 up ballistic skill, so who the hell cares?
Yeah. And lastly, the tier 3 is strength to 4.
Now you're talking, because strength 4 AP 2 1 damage with rapid fire, that's something.
Yeah, that's basically a hotshot las carbine.
And when you're hitting at strength, when you're hitting on 2s, that's still a threat to most things.
That's true.
Right. With rapid fire, you have the potential to get enough of those hits.
Yeah. Up to 6 hits.
Right, and that
good.
compensates for strength 4.
Yeah.
And then plentiful means that you aren't okay. You have rapid fire, but I don't care because.
See, but here's the problem. I have a problem with this.
Yeah.
Because we read the next one.
Well, it's not 6 hits. It's still because it's paired, but you only have rapid fire 1.
Oh, you're right. It's not 6 hits.
No, yeah, it's only rapid fire 1. It's not rapid fire 2.
I was thinking it was still sidearms, so you could fire both. And
No,
with the penalty.
no, this is not a
It's not a
sidearm.
sidearm.
So keep that in mind.
So never mind.
But
Then we look at the missile gauntlets.
Right.
The upgrades are really good.
So at tier 1, you increase the AP to 1. Okay. At tier 2, increase the strength characteristic to 6, and then at tier 3, add blast 3 inches.
On a rapid fire strength 6 weapon.
Strength 6, blast 3 inches, rapid fire AP 1. Sure, you've only got AP 1, but that's often good enough when you're dealing with rapid fire. Again, the multiple hits will help make up for the low AP, and blast 3 also means
You're going to hit multiple people. Strength 6 is a good break point. Oh,
hello, corpse grinder cults. I don't care.
Those are good.
Yeah. There is an argument to be made for the laser gauntlets.
Yes, definitely.
But missiles are where it's at for me.
That's what I would pick as well.
I'm the fan of the missiles. All right. Let's go on now to the Jakara.
Jakara Spyre Hunter. He is 250 credits. Movement 6, weapon skill 2 up.
Yep, so this is your punchy.
This is your punchy.
Well, one of the punches.
One of the punches. Ballistic skill 4 up. Strength 3, toughness 3. Interesting that it's strength 3, even though it's a 2-up weapon skill, but we'll get to that. 2 wounds, 3 up initiative, 3 attacks.
All right.
3 base attacks is pretty good. Their skill access are brawn, combat, and cunning as primaries.
So, cunning in combat.
Yeah.
AKA really good. Again, not Overwatch with this guy, but infiltrate.
Yeah, infiltrate on a beat stick like this. He always comes with his hunting rig, as they all do, a mirror shield, and a monomolecular sword.
Woo. All right. And the only thing he can replace with is he can replace his monomolecular with a Naga blade. Sneak sword. Snack sword. And then, bio booster, photo goggles, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, again, low on the options here.
First up is the Jakara suit, which is a 5-up armor save.
So again,
no field save.
no field save.
The tier 1 augmentation increases it to strength by strength +1. And the second augmentation increases your attacks characteristic by 1 to a 4.
All right.
Increase the wearer's attacks characteristic by 1.
Yeah, and you start out with 3.
So 4 attacks on what's about to be some very, very strong weapons.
Yeah, because this is where this really shines. We'll talk about the actual weapons here. So you've got you've got your mirror shield, which I guess isn't
It is a short range 4, long range 8.
-1 to hit at long range.
-1 to hit at long range. No strength AP or damage. Has energy shield and flash.
And if you are not familiar with what energy shield is, I believe it's the same as the one that is on Vansar.
Vansar, yeah.
So it's 2-up armor save modifier against melee attacks at ranging in the front arcs, and +1 armor save modifier against ranged attacks within the visions arc. So basically, that 5-up is really a 4-up, as long as you're getting shot from the front.
Or a 3-up in melee.
Yes.
Pretty good.
Flash, if a model is hit by a weapon with a flash trait, no wound roll is made. This is where you can basically photon flash grenade somebody.
Yep.
So if you Captain America somebody with your shield,
Yeah.
You can
with an 8-inch range, you go. Ha!
Yeah, well, more like a 4-inch.
Yeah.
Because he's only got
A PS4.
probably. Yeah. But hey, basically this thing's gonna help keep you alive.
Yeah. Next we have his melee weapons, which are
Yes.
the monomolecular sword, which is a melee weapon with strength +1, AP 2, 1 damage, parry, and power. And you can exchange that for the Naga blade, which is a versatile weapon with a 2-inch versatile. Strength +2, AP 1, 2 damage with disarm and parry. So lose power but gain disarm and versatile.
Yes.
Those are pretty close.
Those are pretty close, and they are completely free.
Yep, it doesn't matter which one you pick, it's the same cost.
So let's look at the upgrades.
The first upgrade increases the damage to 2. The second upgrade increases the AP to 3. And the last one increases the strength to strength +2.
So strength 5, AP 3, 2 damage with parry and power. It's a power sword on steroids.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty darn good. What about the Naga blade though?
It is tier 1 adds the shock trait.
Okay.
Tier 2 is increase the AP to 2, and the last one is increase your damage to 3.
So strength +2 still with shock. AP 2, damage 3.
So basically, it swaps the AP and damage.
Yes. I like the Naga blade more.
Really?
Yes.
I like the monomolecular blade more.
Once they're fully upgraded, they have basically the same strength, but Naga blade has shock, which is better
Shock is
in
good.
theory. AP is 2 instead of 3, that's fine. But damage 3 instead of damage 2,
Damage 3 is very strong.
and versatile is so strong with this model particularly.
Honestly, you're right. The versatile tips it over the edge.
Right. And then you've got that shield, which I guess
And
is
he's speed 6.
right. And then the shield upgrades. At tier 1, you get a 6-up field armor save within your vision arc. Tier 2, increase the long range to 12. You still get a -1 to hit. And then tier 3 is get a 5-up field armor save against any field arc. Yeah, I like the Naga blade for this one.
Yeah, it's the versatile.
Yeah.
Honestly, if it wasn't for the versatile, I would say the molecular sword's probably better. I like power a lot.
Power is really good.
And AP base 3
is really scary.
Yeah.
But AP 2 is good enough, and damage 3 is really scary.
Damage 3 is really good.
Last but not least, the Malkadon Spyre Hunter. This one's kind of your ninja-y one.
Yeah, the stealthy.
Yeah. So, movement 7, weapons and ballistic skill 3, strength 3, toughness 3, 2 wounds, 2 attacks, 3 initiative, 7, 5, 6, 6. Right. Your skills are cunning and combat and shooting. Nobody has Savant.
Nobody has Savant.
Because the
Nobody
Savant...
has Ferocity as a primary.
Because Savant is useless
yeah, basically.
if you can't do campaign stuff. You get a Malkadon hunting rig, of course, a drop rig, and a grapnel launcher. Those are the things that let you, drop rig lets you drop from any height without taking damage. Grapnel launcher lets you zoom 12 inches across the board. Paired web incisors and paired Malkadon slashing claws. You may choose to replace the slashing claws with toxin whips. They suit itself. 5-up armor save to start. At tier 1, you get +1 to either your weapons or ballistic skill, not both.
Yep. You started at 3, so making it 2 either way.
Yep. And then tier 2, increase your armor save to 4.
Okay.
So it's, yeah. Now let's talk about the weapons.
Yeah. So they don't have access to a field armor save.
No. So the paired web incisors, which are ranged attacks in theory, short 4, long 8-inch. Not template is the problem.
Yeah.
And they're strength 3, silent, and web. Web is still very, very, very good.
So they're paired, so it is also rapid fire.
Yep.
Yep. Paired is, yep.
The big strength of web is strength 5, and it's a template.
Yeah. Usually their strength is higher than it should be. And they don't have to roll to hit. Here, I mean, you have a 3-up BS, and you can make it a 2-up.
Yes.
But with an 8-inch short range, what's their speed? Their speed 7?
And you have those anyway, because you can't replace them.
Yeah.
So, I guess,
Oh, yeah, you're right.
yeah. Now, his melee weapons, he starts out with the slashing claws, and you can replace it with the toxin whips. The slashing claws is user strength, AP 2, 1 damage, and paired.
Yep.
The toxin whip is versatile 2-inch, but -1 to hit outside of an engagement range. It's just toxin with AP 2 and entangle.
Yep. Then also paired.
Yes. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention this guy's 240 credits.
Oh, yes.
So, neither of those are very good to me. Because user strength...
User strength, strength 3. Well, okay. So I think the toxic one is probably the better of the two then.
Yes.
Because you're only strength 3.
Yeah.
We haven't looked at the upgrades yet.
Yep, and we're about to.
Let's look at the upgrades.
So, claw and paired slashing claws. So he gets the paired ones. Tier 1, AP characteristic goes to 3. Tier 2, damage goes to 2. And Tier 3, strength goes to 4. So strength 4, or strength plus 1, sorry.
Yep.
So strength 4, AP 3, 2 damage. That's pretty scary.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty scary, yes. The Toxin Whip, at Tier 1, you lose the negative to hit outside of engagement range.
Which is very good.
Which is very good. At Tier 2, you get Shield Breaker, which is niche but very good.
Yeah, niche but potentially strong.
And at Tier 3, treat the toughness of any fighters hit by this weapon as being 1 less for the purpose of the Toxin trait. This effect stacks with a Chem Synth, which is on this guy's list.
Woo!
Remember, Chem Synth does the same thing. You just have to take an intelligence test as a free action, and you have a 6 up intelligence.
Yep.
Now, you're playing with Toxin, but everybody's -2 to their roll. That makes this definitely the play.
Yeah,
I think.
that one's really
You have to
good.
get there.
Yeah, you got to get to Tier 3.
But I still think even before that, it's pretty good.
Increasing the, making it so you're not minus at long range. Good. Shield Breaker is the weakest of the 3, but again, potentially very
Until
strong.
you really need it, and that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Until you're playing other Spires and you hit Captain America in the face with a whip.
But man, that last one.
I would say maybe avoid this if you're playing a bunch of Goliath or Ogren.
Yeah.
Because they're going to make your life heck getting there.
Yep.
Because Toxin kind of...
Toughness 4 or 5 base.
It sucks with Toxin.
Yep.
Overall, the Malkadon's my least favorite.
Yeah, but like, yeah.
Overall, the Malkadon is my least favorite. I feel like he's playing, he's playing silly buggers as his role.
Yeah.
Like he's trying to be sneaky, but he doesn't really have anything that lets him be super sneaky. I mean, he's got the drop rig and the grapple launcher, so he's the most mobile.
Yeah, I mean, he has cunning as a primary, so you could infiltrate him in.
But so does my guy with the wings.
Also true.
Yeah, I don't like the Malkadon as much, but they're all good.
They're all decent. None of them I dislike.
And then last but not least, we've got our only exotic beast, of which anybody can have one, and you can unlock one for free. It's 90 credits. It's your Caryatid Prime. I always want to add another D. Caryatid Prime. The stats don't matter.
Nope.
He's got strength and toughness 2 with 1 wound, blah, 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 blah. What really matters is that when you're within 3 inches of a companion, that fighter may reroll 1 failed armor save and 1 failed ammo test per round. Failed armor save per round.
That is why I think it's better than a regular.
I forgot about that.
Yep.
Is so good.
Yep.
Now, these guys don't have not so good armor saves.
No.
Like, they're all rocking 4s.
Yep.
Until you upgrade them. And then on top of this guy can basically dodge anything but on a 3-up. With a 3-up save, and that ignores AP, and then a 50% chance to just avoid Blast.
Yep.
So Blast is still the way to kill these guys because it's only a 50-50.
Yeah, instead of a 66% chance.
Yep.
33% chance to deal damage.
Yep. It also flies. It has agility if you somehow became a specialist, but it has no weapons, and yeah, it makes unarmed attack, but you never want this guy in combat.
Yeah.
Basically, this is here to give you 1 failed armor save and 1 failed ammo test per round.
Dang, I was really hoping you could upgrade its augmentation.
The thing is, a normal Caryatid gives you the chance to dodge an attack per
Yes.
round. So that can be more or less powerful.
It can. It is. They're. I think with that being able to reroll an ammo test first
Yes.
of all, they're pretty comparable.
The thing is, this guy's 90 credits.
Well, yeah, it's 90 credits, but a regular Caryatid is free if you're lucky.
And we've also talked about, like, with the exception of the Oris,
Yeah, there's not a lot of.
nobody here pays anything for their upgrades, well, unless you want stuff from the list.
Right.
Which is very reactive, because you've got a bio booster to make yourself harder to kill. You've got photo goggles, or the photo lumen, which you'll never take, or respirator, or web solvent, or the chem synth for the Malkadon, which I think is borderline
Mandatory.
That 15 credit chem synth. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
You take that one.
Unless you're not doing the toxic weapons.
Do the toxic weapon. I don't see why you would take this guy over Captain America Jakara here.
Yeah.
Captain Jakara America.
Yeah, the Hunt Master and the Oris are the only two with really any.
The Huntmaster is the one where you can kind of fit it into any role, except his suit wants him to be melee.
Yeah, with the +1 strength.
And you can give him the Malkadon slashing claw, and weapons, which comes with Slash and Claw, Web Incisors, and the Grapnel Launcher, and the Drop Rig.
Yep.
There's a reason this guy's 180 credits is because he doesn't come with anything.
Yeah.
I know
He has his hunting rig and nothing else.
I wouldn't go for that one. You can give the Toxic Whip and all that stuff for 60 credits. I wouldn't give him that one. You can give him a Mirror Shield, which is very good.
That does sound pretty strong.
I think the way you build this guy, you notice he doesn't have any of the Aura stuff?
Nope. It should be noted that you can only take 2 of these things. So basically you get 1 any charm.
Yes. I think you either basically make him either a discount, or not discount, I think by the time you put together, if you bought him a Mirror Shield and a Naga Blade, that's 110 credits. You're looking at a 290 credits, which is more than a Jakara.
Yeah.
For the cost of being more wounds and more attacks.
Yeah.
And that's not bad. Or you either do that, which is what he kind of wants to do, or you could go cheap and only give him a molecular sword or a Naga Blade and not give him the Mirror Shield. He's going to be squishy if you don't give him some kind of defensive here.
That's true.
Although he does get a field armor save.
He does.
Or you go slightly cheaper and you give him like a laser missile gauntlet and a Mirror Shield, making him a Yeld that can't fly, but has the basically advanced SAR. Granted, he only hit on a ballistic skill of 3 up.
Yeah.
But you could have that shield and that gun, and it just kind of,
I love that we say only hit on a 3 up.
Well, I mean, compared to 2 up, that is something.
See, I feel like this guy, the way that his stats lay out, other than the suit wanting +1 strength, I think he wants to have both. He wants to have 1 melee, 1 ranged, and be like what the situation needs him to
So you think maybe Naga Blade and a missile gauntlet?
something like that.
Which would be terrifying. That is your squishiest option because you're only relying on your field armor save to keep you alive. And your normal armor save of 4 up, which is, again, not that good.
Yeah, it's...
But you know what? A 4 up save with 3 wounds, it's not that bad either.
Yeah.
And remember, this guy gets to pick one of those things and get a free augmentation level.
That's true. So you can go straight into a... Is it one of your weapon or war gear? You can do any of it.
So you could give him a missile gauntlet for 30 credits, a Naga Blade for 50. That's 80 credits. Now he's rocking 260 credits for this guy, which is not that much more expensive than anyone else, cheaper than the Oris. And you get a free augmentation.
Yep. You can make that missile gauntlet immediately into AP1, which sounds pretty good at the start.
Yeah. And you're on your way to blast, and then you're just, blasting fools.
These... are we going to get into the
Yeah,
wrap up?
So I guess let's get into the overall. We didn't build a list for you because they're so...
So they're simultaneously so customizable and also kind of limited.
Yeah.
Each suit is kind of limited except for the leader.
Right.
But there's no limit to what you can take on any of these other than the leader you have to take. So you could take all guys with wings if you want to, except for the leader. And even with the leader, you can take the grapnel launcher to be able to slingshot around the board. You can make this ridiculously fast. You could make a whole bunch of guys that are just super sturdy with shields and a 2-up save all the time. These guys look really fun.
Yeah. So, overall view of these guys. You are very elite.
Yes. You thought Vansar was elite.
I don't think you can afford more than 1 Spyre Hunter, or more than 1 Oris.
No.
Honestly,
it's just hilarious that, again, there's 2 in that box.
Fitting 1 Oris in your list is going to be hard. Because 350 credits... Now, luckily, we already talked about, you probably don't want to increase his cost at the start. Because he's 350 credits, it's almost half your gang if you're playing 1,000 points.
Yep.
And then you have to have at least 180 for your Huntmaster, and that's before you give him any upgrades.
Any weapons.
Yeah, any weapons. So you're probably looking at, let's be honest, 260 for your Huntmaster, because that's one of these.
Just about.
So if you have a Huntmaster and a Oris... That's 350 plus 260 is 550 plus 610. That leaves you 390 credits, which is not even enough for
not even
more
2 guys.
So having an Oris basically relegates you to having 3 of these guys.
3 to start with. That is ridiculous.
And keep in mind that in the course of the campaign where you get to hire more people, 300 credits or less can't hire an Oris.
Yep.
You can only hire an Oris at the 400 credits for 20 plus terror.
Yep. And that's including equipment.
Yeah.
So you would get 1 upgrade
Yeah. Which, I mean, that's all you need. 300 credits and...
Well, you couldn't get the 60-point upgrade.
No, but we already talked about that. You don't want to...
Couldn't. I'm saying it's not an option. I'm not saying I would.
So, yeah, you're either going super elite, but now if you aren't going super elite, if you are ignoring the Oris, you've got 260 points. You could have 4, basically.
Yeah.
If you don't take an Oris, you can have 4 guys. You could have your Huntmaster and then a combination of the Yeld, Jakara, and Malkadon, because those are all 250 credits-ish.
Yeah.
That wouldn't leave you much, depending on your combo, that wouldn't leave you much room for any of the little, like, the bio booster, the photo goggles, the upgrades.
Those are basically like, I have 90 credits left over. What do I do with it? And you just like,
I mean,
upgrade some stuff.
I'm not sure. I think if you went with a Huntmaster for 260 and 3 Yelds, that would put you at 260 plus 660, which is 860. That would put you at 920. That's
80 credits left.
That's 80 credits. That's still not enough to buy a Curated Prime.
Nope.
The only way you could have a Curated Prime at launch, at gang start, is if you went cheaper on your Huntmaster.
Yep.
So you're really going like, and by the way, I think there is gas in playing a Huntmaster with 3 Yelds.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, you can...
Because that's basically playing Uber Elite Vansar. But even that, you've got 8 activations.
Yeah, which is like a little under average.
Which we try and shoot. We always say 8 is the minimum. Like,
Yeah.
I try not to do under 8.
Yeah.
Like, remember the Enforcer videos? I was like desperately trying to hit 8. It's still low though.
It is.
And your toughness 3 with a 2 or 3 wins.
And as we mentioned earlier, the maximum guys that you can get are your starting gang plus 2.
Yep.
So you can get 6 guys in the whole campaign.
Which makes it really hard to suggest getting an Oris.
Yeah.
But the Oris are so much stronger than everyone else.
They are.
Their toughness 4 to base and their melee weapons are so much scarier.
Yep.
So it's hard to argue not getting an Oris. That being said, I think the melee on the Jakara
Yeah,
is good enough that stands in.
that's true. I like the Jakara.
And they don't have toughness 4, but they do have that +1 armor save from the shield. I really like taking Huntmaster, Yeld, Jakara, flex slot.
Sure.
Either, depending on what you're facing and what you want to play, either another Yeld, another Jakara, or a Malkadon. Honestly, for flavor reasons, I would take one of each. Just for fun.
Yeah.
I know I said I don't think Malkadon is necessarily the weakest. I think it's just the weirdest.
Yeah,
And maybe the most niche. But there's times when it will really mess with stuff. So that would be my bet, is take one of each and then leave the Oris out.
That's fair.
It is not possible to have a gang with one of each type from launch.
No, it is not.
And that does mean you won't get an Oris until you get 20 credit or 20 terror. But that's only 20 kills. When you think about it, that's not that much.
There are what, 5? Yeah. So you could start with 3, your leader, an Oris, and one other, and then get 2 to have one of each later. But that's much later. But yeah,
Heck, you could start with 2 Oris and a leader.
that's true.
Like that would put you at, with no upgrades, 2 Oris and a leader would put you at almost
700, 800,
about 1,000 credits
880. So yeah, you have 120 credits to give this guy some stuff.
to give Curated Primes.
Yeah.
You could start with 3 models.
Oh no, because he doesn't have any weapons. You have to give him weapons.
No,
Or were you
I was
including
counting that.
Oh,
I was
okay.
including. So I was counting. I'm thinking of the leader as being 260.
Okay.
If you're equipping him well, you can flex that up or down like 50 credits.
Then no, you can't.
No, because that would put you at 960.
Yeah, 960. Sorry, I was doing with no upgrades. at
Oh
all.
no, I was doing with upgrades. With with upgrades, you could have 2 Oris and leader for 960.
Yep.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Neither.
Toughness 4 and a 4-up, 5-up arm save or 4-up, 6-up to start. Here's the other thing. Until you get rolling, this gang is not actually that strong.
No, it's not. You really, really need those augmentations.
You really need to leverage the fact that you don't actually have to win anything.
Yeah.
Winning gets you 2 XP and nothing else.
Yep.
Leverage the idea of running in, killing the least important things, and bailing. Because you don't care about anything else. You don't care about territory. You don't care about objectives.
Nope. You don't care about money.
You don't care about money.
The only thing you're doing is increasing your augments, your experience, your terror, and preventing your opponent from doing stuff.
Augments are increased by killing things,
Yep.
so kills. Now, leader and champion kills are worth more.
Yes.
Because they're worth 2 points, basically, instead of 1. or kind of. They're worth an additional point because you can stack those endlessly. But honestly, you don't take those unless you have opportunity.
Yeah. Don't like aim for their leader and then get killed.
Or do if you can get away with it, but don't get your guy killed because you're worth way more than they are. You have to get kills early to keep up.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love that paradigm because it's so different than anything else we've seen in Necromunda.
Isn't it funny that we blame campaigns for being too killy?
And you beat me to my next point.
I did? Oh, okay.
Is that a problem when they make a gang that's just kill each other?
Just kill them.
Oh yeah, you don't care about objectives. Like, because we complain about that a lot.
Yeah.
Now you have a gang that doesn't have to play by those rules. And I wonder how that's going to shake out.
Yeah.
Is it going to be unfun to fight against? Because if you're playing Vansar, and somebody rolls in with the express purpose of just killing a couple dudes and leaving, on the one hand, if they don't win, you get the campaign win, or the scenario win, you get credits, but also they're not playing by the same rules.
Right. You can't, okay, here's what I'm seeing. You can't play these guys and be a nice guy. Because if you are a nice guy, then you're like, oh, I'll just get a couple things, and then you can have.
No, because you should still be trying to stop that Vansar player from winning. I'm saying that especially early campaign, you might not be able to do that.
Yeah.
Because every other gang I can think of can start with something that is scarier than anything in this book, except for an Orus.
Yeah.
The Orus is scarier than most things because that.
But again, if you start with it, you're limiting yourself to 3 guys max.
Everyone else can start with like a plasma gun,
Yeah.
which is a scarier gun than anything else on this list.
True.
There is no other gun on here that is as scary as a plasma gun.
Yeah.
Melee weapons, I think they have the edge, but even then, I could give someone something that is pretty scary. Yeah, that's kind of the thing that they have to worry about. I like it. I like the difference.
Yeah, I do too. Again, anytime they mix up a formula, I like it.
Yeah, now we've often seen that sometimes that means that gangs don't have great longevity or they don't play well.
Yeah.
So slave ogrins, enforcers, where it's like, oh, you're playing a different game. And then we go, yeah, they're playing a different game. But this is written more recently.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of design philosophy that's gone into this to make these guys fun. So I guess overall my thesis is I'm not terribly worried about these from a balance perspective. Because I think we were all worried.
Yeah, that's fair.
We were all worried about these being the equivalent of Custodies and Kill Team.
Yeah, true.
Where at launch they just weren't fun to fight.
Yeah, unstoppable killing machines.
And then you have certain players who are like, oh yeah, I like that because they love that fantasy of being the unstoppable player. The thing is that being on the end of the unstoppable player is not fun.
Yeah, I agree.
These guys are not unstoppable. Yeah, they're mobile, they're deadly, they have a lot of tools. They're better at the start than your gangers because 4-up armor save and a field save. But I have 4-up armor save at the start.
Yeah.
I don't have the field save, but
I'm also 100 credits less than you. And
I
have double the guys.
And I don't actually pin you unless I do damage to you. And that's going to be the big one.
Yeah.
That people will get caught off guard because they're so used to, okay, I can pin that guy. This one, you 360 no scope that guy with a las gun and it bounces off. They don't care.
Yeah, and they just Terminator walk towards you.
They're just going to book it towards you and punch you in the face.
Yeah. I say Terminator walk, but half these guys are speed 6 or 7.
I was about to say, it's less the Terminator walk and more the Robert Patrick.
Like full sprinting.
Yeah, it's a T-1000 run. He's just John Connor. But I think they're well balanced overall, but I need to play with them.
I definitely need to see them play.
The other problem is that like when we next play the campaign, how many people are going to be wanting to play?
A lot, because they're really cool.
Yeah, like they're so cool and customizable.
Everyone's like, all right, what are you playing? I'm playing Spires.
And like,
I'm too.
Spyre on Spyre benefits nobody.
Oh yeah,
because
it literally doesn't matter who wins. It's just who kills the most.
But then those kills are worth so much less.
Oh, that's true.
Now everyone's a champion, sure, but you have to get 4 kills to get that one thing. You're not going to get that.
No.
Unless you wipe the opponent, and they're just going to leave before you can do that. No one's ever going to bail because they're all rolling.
Although think about it. Even going into a normal fight, when was the last time there were 8 leaders or champions on the board?
Never.
It's ever only going to be 4 max.
Right.
And that only gets you 1. It's just, I don't know.
Well, you get 1 point per leader or champion.
Yeah, I know.
And then you get a point if you get 4 kills or more.
Yes. Well, what I'm saying is that like if you wipe the entirety of the Spires, which you won't.
No, that's my problem is you won't.
The chances of you doing the same thing to Vansar.
That's true.
Is also very low.
That's true.
It's kind of like a.
You're more likely to get the 1 point from the 4 and then like 1 champion,
Yeah.
champion kills. Although sometimes crap happens, and we've had it. Overall, I like these guys. Obviously, they're one of the coolest looking gangs we've seen in a long time.
Them and the new Gene Stealers are some of the coolest things they put in Necromunda. And they're new models, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But they're so cool.
But I also think the Vansar Tech Hunters are some of the coolest things they've done.
True. That's true.
Honestly. But yeah, I don't think our fears about this being a super powerful, uber hard, not fun to fight gang.
Yeah.
You are going to have to fight them differently. Mm-hmm. And if you are someone like Cawdor, who's used to winning on objectives, that is a bad matchup for you.
Yes.
Which we've talked about. We don't really love the rock, paper, scissors, but it does kind of have a thing in Necromunda.
I do like the thought of having to play your matchups differently.
Yes.
But when you're just like immediately into a 30% chance to win, it feels kind of bad.
But then on the other hand, if Cawdor, leverage their templates and their burning, you know what's not in here? Anything about being set on fire.
That's true.
These guys don't like being set on fire any more than anybody else.
So fire.
Oh, so you lost an activation to fire. Oh, you didn't go out? Oh, that's a shame. So you lost a second activation to fire.
Yeah.
You know what these guys hate? Web guns.
Yeah, which is why they all have web solvent.
You know what these guys hate? Getting punched in the face because multiple attacks with multiple damage.
Corpse grinders.
I mean, corpse grinders kill everything.
Yeah, they do.
I don't fancy fighting these guys into corpse grinders.
Yeah.
Until I get that blast rapid fire missile launcher.
Oh yeah.
And then I just win.
So good. Anyway.
Carpet bomb. Good morning, Vietnam. So that's it for a review of the Spyre Hunters. Probably one of the more interesting gangs.
Yep.
I'm not going to say more interesting than Gene Stealers, though. Just very, very, very different.
It's funny that you say they're not more interesting than Gene Stealers, considering they had octuple the rules that Gene Stealers do.
But that's more rules doesn't always mean more interesting now, does it?
See, I disagree. I think they're more interesting than Gene Stealers.
Oh, sorry. When I say more interesting, I mean more interesting than Gene Stealer Infected. Because, yeah, Gene Stealer, Mouse Train Gene Stealers are not interesting. Sorry.
No,
sorry. I meant my brain had filled in Gene Stealer Infected, Mouse Train Gene Stealer Infected as the new Gene Stealers because Mouse Train Gene Stealers are not a gang outside of Underhive.
No, they're not.
Sorry.
Okay.
No, they're boring. But Mouse Train Infected, I think, has enough stuff going on.
That's true.
When combined with the existing rules that they're interesting.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Just, but completely the opposite end.
Yeah.
Instead of cheap brood scum, you've got
3 guys.
yeah. That's it from us this time. Stay tuned for next time when we'll go back to our regularly scheduled programming of getting through the other Ash Waste stuff from the last book.
Yeah.
Sorry, we weren't doing these videos yet.
We are done with this book now.
Yes, we are done with this book. We are done with the Book of Desolation. Remains one of my favorite books they've ever released.
I agree. It's fantastic.
Just for the teams, the rules, the campaign. But we'll head back to the Ash Waste next time. I think we're doing squats.
Probably squats next.
Probably squats, and then we'll do nomads, and then back into some of the other weirder stuff.
Yep.
And we'll see you then.
Bye.